Hey everyone, Bob Thomas here from snoringmouthpieceguide.com. Today I'm going to do a product review on the SnoreRx anti-snoring mouthpiece. The device that I actually have today is the SnoreRx Plus, which is the second generation of the SnoreRx, and the manufacturer says that they improved some of the features of the original. So let's take a look inside here at the SnoreRx Plus. This is the product packaging. Inside you will find the instruction manual. Here is the actual device, which is stored inside of the storage case. And this is what the mouthpiece looks like. You can see at the top here they actually stamped the word upper right here. And then you notice that it has a large air hole in the front. That's always a good feature. Over here on the side there's some sort of adjustment for the lower jaw. Then overall what it looks like is it's a soft thermoplastic material here on the outside, but on the very inside of the device there's actually a harder plastic material, and this is sort of like the frame of the device. So you're going to have the soft material surrounding your teeth, and then there's a very thin layer of harder material that actually serves as the structure or the frame of the device. So I'm going to take a look over these instructions and see exactly how the manufacturer recommends that I fit this device, and then I'll get back with you and we'll go ahead and start the fitting process. Okay, I took a look over the instructions, and the fitting process seems pretty simple. It's about like any other boil and bite device. You're basically going to heat the mouthpiece, you're going to place it in your mouth, take an impression, and then drop it in cold water to allow it to set. But let me go ahead and go over the process here. What you're going to need is, this is a cup of cold water. This is boiling hot water. This is you're going to need a pair of tongs to fish the mouthpiece out with. Then the actual mouthpiece and some sort of timing device. I'm just going to use my my cell phone here as a timing device. So the process is going to go like this. I'm going to explain it and then actually do it, and then I'll come back and show you what the end result looks like. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the device and you're going to drop it into the hot water. And you're going to leave it in there for 60 seconds, and what this is going to do is it's going to soften the thermoplastic material. And then after 60 seconds you're going to take your tongs, you're going to fish it out, and then you're just going to dip it in the cold water for 2 or 3 seconds. And what that's going to do is it's going to cool off the surface so you don't have any, you don't get scalded by any boiling hot water droplets. You know, it only takes a couple seconds. You just drop it in there, and then once you do that, you're going to take it, you're going to put it inside of your mouth. Make sure, this is very important whenever you do this, make sure that the upper portion that actually goes in the correct way, that this fits in the upper teeth, and make sure you don't do it upside down like that. So pay close attention when you do that, make sure it's centered, and then you want to bite down, and you really want to take a good impression. The instructions say that it works best if you take a deep impression. So what you're going to do is you're going to bite down firmly for 30 seconds. And at the end of 30 seconds you're going to take it out of your mouth, and then what you're going to do is you're going to drop it into the cold water, and what that's going to do is that's going to allow it to set. It's going to set up the warm plastic. It's going to harden it. So that process, you're going to leave it in the cold water for 60 seconds. At the end of 60 seconds you're going to take it out, and then at that point you're actually going to make the adjustments. And it looks like it says right here you have to squeeze, so you're going to squeeze in here on the sides, and that's going to allow you to slide this back and forth. Something that the instructions did say is you don't want to move this here until after you actually do the fitting process, because it can cause damage. So make sure you take the impression first, and then afterwards you're going to go back and you're going to make adjustments as necessary. So I'm going to go ahead and drop this in the hot water, and then we're going to get started. Okay, I just finished up with the fitting process, and the mouthpiece has been in the cold water now for about a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and take it out. I think I got a really good impression. I could really feel my teeth sinking in whenever I did the fitting. So you can see here, you can see all the nooks and crannies. It looks really good. Let's go ahead and try it out here, see how it fits. And I think that's going to work. It feels pretty, fits pretty snugly inside of my mouth. I don't feel it really moving around. So I'm going to go with that. Something you're going to want to keep in mind, if you don't get it right the first time or it doesn't quite feel right, you can always go back and repeat the process 3 or 4 times, I believe. The next thing you're going to want to do is make the adjustments on the sides, and this is kind of a cool feature with this device because it doesn't require any tools. With some of these other devices, you need a little tool that you can turn it in and out, but this one is it requires no tools, and you can adjust it as many times as you want, so it's not something that you're going to adjust once and then you can't adjust anymore. The process of adjusting is pretty simple. What you're going to do is, I guess you would just put your thumb right here and then your index or your pointer finger down here, and what you do is you squeeze on the sides, and then you can see, you can actually hear it ratchet or click. You can make the adjustments on the side here from 1 millimeter to 10 millimeters. I'm going to go ahead and start at around 5 millimeters. Let's go ahead and start about 4. So 4 millimeters, and then make sure that you have it the same on both sides. You're going to want to move this out simultaneously. That's on the 4th setting, and that's on the... Actually, let's go ahead and start around the 5th. Okay. So as you can see here, I'm on the 5th setting, and on the 5th setting on this side. And so maybe start around there about 4 or 5, and if you're still having issues with snoring, you can always make adjustments. And as you can see here, it's pretty simple. I mean, you just basically push on the sides, and then you can go all the way out to 10 millimeters. You can see that's quite a bit of advancement. You're not really going to need, most people are not going to need that much advancement. So as I said, let's start out around the 5th. The 5th adjustment here, and we'll give that a shot there. I'll try it out here for about a week, and I'll get back with you and let you know how it worked out. Okay, I'm back, and I've been using the SnoreRx Plus for just over a week now. I'm going to let you know what I think about it, and give you my recommendation. Overall, I think it was a really great device. It stopped my snoring. The very first night that I used it, I had no problems as far as snoring. But after the first night, I moved the lower adjustment into the 4 millimeter setting, just to make it a little more comfortable, so my jaw wasn't stretched quite as far. And even on the 4 millimeter setting, it was really comfortable, and it worked. So yeah, it worked out great. A few things that I really liked about it. If you look at the front here, you can see this air hole, breather hole. It's a gap here in the front. And on a lot of these mouthpieces, like the solid, the one-piece boil and bite type, they sometimes have like 2 small air holes in the front, or just one larger air hole in the front. But this actually spans all the way across the front of the device, so it allows plenty of air in and out. And if you're a mouth breather, that's a feature that you definitely want to look for in a mouthpiece. Something else I really liked about it was the fact that you can make adjustments without needing any tools. It's really easy, as I was showing before. You just squeeze it on the sides here, and then as you squeeze in, you can slide this tray, forward or back, or adjust it however you want to. It's some of these devices you have to you adjust it, and you kind of have to take a guess at where it's going to go. And once you make the adjustment, you really can't go back and make further adjustments. With this one, you can adjust it as many times as you would like, so that was definitely a plus. Something else I really like is the solid frame on the inside. There's a thin plastic frame that's surrounded by the soft thermoplastic, but on the inside there's a plastic frame, and that really gives it some structural rigidity. It's a real solid piece. It's not flimsy at all. You can definitely tell it's a quality piece. I really like the way it's constructed. It's solid, and seems like something that would last a while. So that's pretty much it. I really like the device. I really don't have anything bad to say about it. It worked great, and I'd recommend it to anyone who's looking for an adjustable jaw advancing device. It's probably one of the better ones in the market, and best of all, it requires no tools, so that's definitely a plus, and something that makes this device unique. So that was my review of the SnoreRx. For more information, you can visit my website at snoringmouthpieceguide.com. Thanks for watching.